Hello and welcome back. This is something totally new that I've never done before, and I'm not even going to pretend that I'm experienced at it. Let's call it podcast ish episode 1 by Eliza Mozal, and I wanted to talk over here in a totally different new way that I've done so far. So, first of all, this is not the typical episode that I would do on YouTube as a video in the format of a video and 10-minute speech and try to squeeze it in and try to capture your attention. Not at all, not at all. Over here, I would like to share with you something quite big that it happened to me last week. And it's still continuing, something that you can benefit in a huge way if spirituality and spiritual growth is something you are interested in. So what I would like to suggest is to for you just to be a little bit more open-minded and give yourself time till the end of that episode to figure it out if this is something that you're gonna enjoy or not. And I would absolutely love and appreciate your feedback at the end of the video in the comments section. I'm going to call this episode Spirituality and Physical Pain because that's exactly what I am going to touch on, but not only. I'll be speaking as well about the dark night of the soul that happened to me on Wednesday last week when I experienced split disc on my back, and everything shifted for a good few hours, and I will talk about it a little bit more, but at the very beginning first, I just would like to welcome you. I would like to make you feel welcome and comfortable, whether you are sitting, running, whether you are lying down, whether you are relaxing, whether you are on the go, cleaning your toilet or kitchen or cooking or trying to, prepare the lunch for your kids for school, whatever it is that you do. If you're listening, I hope you're going to feel the warmth in your heart, and I hope you would be able to use your imagination, because there is quite few things that I'm going to touch on over here to help you get into the climate of that episode. At the moment I am in Scotland. It is Monday. I believe it is 10th of February. It is late afternoon. It's coming dark. I'm sitting next to the window all day long. We had a snowstorm, which is not that often in Scotland. So you can imagine that majority of the places are paralyzed here and snowed, and I'm just sitting next to the window watching the sky. There is a candle that it's in the front of me, and I have my little journal over here with a few points that I would like to touch on. But most of all, I'll be speaking from the heart. So what are we doing here? I would like to just open up in a new format about the subject that might be extremely helpful to you, because for a very long time I've been focusing so much on my spirituality, on my spiritual progress. I've been focusing a lot on my mental health as well. And I've been focusing so much on that inner strength. I've been passing on to other people through YouTube and other forms, other channels as well. My wisdom, my help, my vibration, my heart, my light. And I've been just trying to be as helpful and useful as I can in many different ways. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I feel like it is my purpose at the moment. My purpose at the moment is to help you raise your permanent vibration and help you progress internally. And what do I mean by internal progress? If at the moment you're feeling like you're held back by some old feelings, emotions, and trapped energies inside, I want the content that I'm creating help you do that. If you are a person who feeling stuck the way you are in your life, whether it is physically, mentally, or spiritually, I want to help you find that inner power and strength and light and to make that step forward. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, whether it's your day 1 or day 10,001, it absolutely doesn't matter. I want you to feel that there is so many other people like you waking up at the moment on the planet and just trying to do their best, going forward, unlearning so much of the judgment, criticism, pain, suffering that we've been, passed on through, and learning totally new way of living through the heart, through forgiveness, through just simply accepting ourselves for who we are, learning, actually discovering, rediscovering who we truly are deep within, and trying to bring this to the surface, to the outside. And the thing that I wanted to start on, of course, I have with me, I'm just reaching out, I have with me my green juice. I've decided that's gonna be the fastest way for a quick dinner. Green smoothie with bananas, spinach, chia seeds, green super powder. What else is here? Frozen chunks of mango. And I believe that's it. And it's juicy and it's tasty and it's sweet and it's yummy. So this is what is giving me my strength at the moment. And this is what it's powering me right now. Okay, so the thing I wanted to mention and talk about that was so unexpected. So for about 2-3 weeks time, I've been experiencing more and more of the back pain, and I took a week of work, nearly week of work 2 weeks ago. So it is going to get better. So it's not going to get worse. So I'm going to spend much more time on yoga, meditation, on relaxing and stretching that part of my body that obviously was needed much more of my attention. It was needing time off, and as well it was trying to tell me something. What I have learned so far from Louise Hay work is that low back issues, low back pain is connected to feeling insecure, feeling not supported by life in emotional and financial way. And that has been the truth in my life, that has been the truth in my case, but it's not just that thing. I literally would have to go back a little bit earlier. When I came back from Poland, I've been away for a funeral. My grandmother, my last grandparent, passed away, and I've been there, and there was not only sad and dark times. Majority of the time actually was absolutely beautiful. It was with family that I learned finally on my journey to connect in a totally new and different way, without expecting them to be any other way that they are choosing to be, which is a huge progress for me, comparing to where I've been a few years back. And I have met my niece for the first time in my life, and I absolutely fall in love. And when I came back here, I felt this separation. I felt this massive pain because I want to be there. I wanted to be there in Poland. I wanted to be there for my sister. I wanted to support her as an older sister, like I've never done it in the past. And I wanted to be there as an auntie, and I want to as well experience that joy and love that this relationship and those other relationships bring me. So it wasn't just me getting this, getting that. It was so much love that came out of me from this open heart that I wanted to give over there. And by being here, it's a little bit different. And so I started experiencing these pains in my back, and I took time off to be able to recover, to be able to invest more in myself, to be able to listen to that part of myself, and that's exactly what I've done. And then it came the day a week ago when I came back to work. I went back to work, and I had a very stressful situation at the end of the day with the person who is very high up, and anyone who stood up to that person is not working there anymore. And that's many people I'm talking about that I've witnessed over the last maybe year. Whoever stood up to that person is not working there anymore. People were literally escorted with security just like that. And I cannot say much more because of the nature of my work, the contract that I signed up, where I am not allowed to talk about that stuff. So I'm gonna leave it over there. And I found myself in that situation when I literally stood up for myself, for being treated not the way that I let anyone treat me anymore. And there is a part of me that is just became so proud and in the most humble way, if that makes sense, so proud of myself that I'm not taking anyone's shit anymore. If that would be even 6 months ago, I would just make myself a totally 100% victim of it, and that's it. And this time I just literally automatically stood up for myself, and I said, no, you cannot say that to me. That's not fair. You are absolutely not allowed to say that to me. And when I look back at that person, I thought this person is gonna just rip me into pieces. This person did not like my reaction, and I don't want to say too much. I don't want to put anyone in trouble, and most of all, I don't want to put myself in trouble over here. What I ended up feeling very threatened that I'm going to lose my job overnight, and the situation I am in, it wouldn't be looking too good. I would probably have to give up my life here in Scotland and just start, afresh, anew, maybe back in Poland or something like that. So I was facing that situation. My head was, of course, automatically was telling me all this worst case scenario, trying to prepare me so I have a plan A and plan B. Plan A was that I'm going back to work, everything is okay, I am working on continuing being fully aware of my thinking patterns, so I am not swept away by constantly fearing the future or being remorseful about the past, and just trying to be present. And plan B was, okay, if that's the case, if that's what's gonna happen, how am I going to behave? Am I going to be the old Eliza who is blaming and cursing and making myself a victim? Or am I going to be a person who is gonna look at this experience a day later or a month later or 10 years later, and it's gonna look back at it like, yes, I am very happy with the way I've reacted. I have been respectful and kind and self-loving as much as I could over there. So I've done a little bit of rehearsing, but I could not fully switch off the survival mode. I could not fully switch off that mode of, shit, my life is gonna turn upside down totally, absolutely totally. So there was a part of me that I could not switch off, and that part of me affected my back pain so bad. No matter what I've done since then, over the next few days, it's just kept on getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember spending literally two and a half hours on meditations. I've been spending about an hour, half an hour each on yoga and beautiful gentle stretches and movement of my body, and being very mindful, and it's just, no matter what I've done, that fearful thinking just done its job already. And I remember on Wednesday morning, which it was 2-3 days later, I was, after doing meditation and Wim Hof breathing and cold and hot showers, I was very gently moving down, trying to reach the yoga block so I can do the exercises. And something happened in my back, something internally, without any sound, without any click, something shifted and hit on my nerves in my back, which now I truly believe it was the disc in my back slipped and it hit it on my nerves, and I started screaming so loudly in such an agony. That was in my living room next to my yoga mat. I went on my knees and I was trying to move in some way, ease the pain and stop screaming, and I absolutely couldn't. So I was on the floor for about 15-20 minutes, and I was trying to call two of my closest friends. They are living maybe 20 minutes away, car drive each, and none of them was answering the phone. It was about 6:30 at the morning, and then I called a friend who is about an hour away from me, and this person picked up. She was just driving to her work, and I was able to just have someone on the phone with me, and that person helped me crawl through encouragement in conversation. There was someone there, helped me crawl to the stairs so I can unlock the front door and I can call 911. And that's exactly what I've done. And I'm gonna maybe just shorten that story a little bit. I was still in huge agony, and I called 911 being in an extremely awkward position. On one of my knee on the stairs, another one was half bent, one arm was on the stairs, another one was half up. I was in a very weird, awkward position, and I was screaming from pain, calling 911, and I had no idea what's going on, and the answers I've been asked, I wasn't able to answer all of these questions properly, and 911 decided that I'm not an emergency, and I've never received the help over there, and I've been told that NHS 24/7 is going to call me back within the next hour, and I thought my world is gonna end. I felt so disappointed. I felt so disappointed with them. I was unable, through that physical pain, I was unable to see the truth of the situation. And I'm gonna go back a little bit later on to that truth. So NHS 24/7 called me back, and they again decided I am not an emergency. I was unable, through the pain and the screaming, answer all of their questions properly. I was unable to tune into my body and tell them that yes, I have pins and needles in my arms and legs. I was just so focused on that part, middle part, middle part of my body, which is the low back, that I was unable to see that all the symptoms, the symptoms that it is a split disc in my back. And I've been told to call my doctors, as soon as they will open, and take paracetamol. And I was just absolutely devastated inside out. Mentally, physically, spiritually, I was just gone. The resentments and the darkness at this moment that came out of me was just unbelievable. And if you are a person who are on your spiritual journey, and you are coming up to the point of that kind of excruciating physical pain, please do not judge yourself, judge your life, judge others based on that pain, because the ugliness, all your dragons, all your demons are gonna come out, and it is absolutely okay, and it is absolutely normal. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being a human and totally losing your ball when you are in your lowest. The question is, how long are you gonna stay there? And that's what I believe exactly this whole episode is about. And the next day, after that Wednesday, which I'm gonna go back to very soon, all I've been thinking about is I have to put that message out there. I have to put that message out there. I just have to. And it isn't because I am awesome Eliza and because I am saint. It isn't because I am fabulous and fantastic. It is because that intuitive feeling in my gut tells me that stuff happens to me, and I overcame that stuff so someone else can as well benefit from it. It's not about writing a book. Eliza Mozal is amazing and awesome and chef and this and that. I am only a channel of that power and love that runs through me, and my willingness to keep on doing that internal work every single day, sitting my body down, whether it's wants it or not. My willingness to keep on learning and growing is so that power, so that thing can flow through me, so I can be helpful and useful to all of those that they are going maybe through that dark times and can benefit from it. Okay, let me go back to that moment. What I'm trying to say is that whenever you are in pain and suffering, emotional, physical, and you are on your spiritual journey, you are identifying yourself with as a spiritual person, your spiritual ego, which there is a big chance that you have it. I have a huge spiritual ego, huge, big spiritual Eliza. Is gonna tell you, you should be saying, you should be all good and that, and just don't listen to that ego. We are all humans as well, not just spiritual beings. We are humans as well, and that stuff comes out. Now, let me just share with you, and if you are that one of my loved one and close one who were there for me that day, and please listen till the end, and I know you will understand me, and I know you will not take that in a wrong way. I know you will listen to that episode till the end, and you will not take any offense over here, unless you will choose it, but I know you will not. I want to share the demons that came out of me at that time. So anyone who is experiencing that doesn't think that there is something wrong with them, doesn't think that they are less than, that they are not good enough, and they are not complete, and they are not whole, and they are not worthy. I want to share those demons that they came out of me, because they were with me since I was 5, since I can remember. And they were dominating me, my life, and all my relationships, and my life events, and the choices I've been doing until a few years ago, when I started becoming so aware of these demons, when I become more and more aware of that dark stuff, and became, aware of my own inner strength and power, and that beautiful higher power, love, God, whatever you want to call it, that started helping me to make a daily and hourly, and even sometimes every minute decision. No, I am not gonna be driven by that demon and darkness anymore. Right now I'm choosing love and silence and stillness, and not taking action or being compassionate and forgiving. And those people that they were involved in that day are all those people that helped me make that difference, and helped me change from that useless and painful and hurt Eliza, who was hurting other people, into someone who is not hurting so many people at the moment, and is doing different things, is trying to help other people grow and become internally free. So I'm gonna share these demons that they came out of me. I started feeling so resentful. I started feeling so upset. I started feeling so angry. Why the heck didn't you answer when I called you? And why the heck didn't pick up my phone straight away? Why when I called you and you were 911, you didn't give me what I expected you to give me? I expected everyone and everything gave me exactly this thing, my terms, my rules, my conditions, and that didn't happen, and that's why I was in pain and suffering. And I'm not talking here about the physical pain. I'm talking here about that internal pain, being disappointed because I had expectations. And very wise person told me 5 years ago, if you don't expect anything from anyone, there is no way you will ever get disappointed. And people will always disappoint you. We are imperfect. That's the way we are. No matter who you are, where you are, on what stage of your life, you will always disappoint disappoint someone if they have expectations of you. And I had expectations of 911 just because I called them, come here straight away over here, give me an injection into my back, take me to hospital, make that stiffness go away, give me physiotherapy, maybe hold me overnight, take me to toilet, take me to for a shower and all that, do all that stuff for me, take that pain away, make me feel warm, make me feel not alone, blah, 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 blah. They've done none of that stuff. Then I had another set of 600-page book expectations from my friends, which way they supposed to be. They supposed to answer straight away, out, not even change their jammies, straight away put their boots on and come over here and be the rescue hero for me and make me feel as comfortable as it is possible and all that stuff. And that didn't happen. And that darkness came out of me, and I lost it. And I spoke to every one of these 3 people. I spoke to NHS, I spoke to the doctor who's supposed to call me in a few hours time, like, I don't know, few hours time. They called me maybe 4 or 5 hours times later. And I managed to go to bed with the help of my friend on the phone. Eliza, very slowly go there, because the pain was so excruciating. How can I move from that awkward position? The pain was unbelievable, and it was very spasmodic. And all these demons came out, and I hated myself for these demons. And I felt like, what is the point in all of it? I'm back again to square one. And when I finally finished talking to anyone, I lie down. In the front of me was the white pillow, the phone, my black phone was in the top of it. My vision was blurry, and I was all in agony and pain, could not stop crying from that emotional and physical pain. I felt like I'm bleeding internally so badly. I wasn't bleeding internally, I'm talking about my soul and my spirit. And I've decided I am not gonna try to get rid of these demons. I am not gonna be running away from them. That was the decision that I've made, that I've learned over the last year and a half. Do not run away from that darkness, because that's what I've been doing all my life, sweeping under the carpet, pretending it is not there. And especially the last 10 years before I started changing my life, I was just using anything and everything to take my mind away from that internal pain, whether it would be shopping, spending money I didn't earn yet, sex, partying, drugs, alcohol, all that crazy stuff. And it didn't work. So I knew that this time I absolutely cannot run away from these demons and from that pain. I have to face them. And I did. And I looked at them, and I didn't try to judge them. I stopped judging them and criticizing them. I just let them be. And I started observing them as best as I could. Okay, that's the expectations I've got, and they failed. Why they failed those expectations? Because I had them. If I didn't have any expectations, they would not fail them. Why am I in pain? Because I wanted things to be my way. But life is not all about making everything Eliza's way. And I started going back, to the beginning. I started going back to keeping things simple, to my breath, focusing on my breath. I started going back to the beginning. Why am I in pain and suffering? Why am I so hysterious? Of course, I'm living on my own, so there is this another factor, if something happens to me, how am I gonna get help? And that was the situation. And I just let this demon be in the front of me, I let them shine, I let them fly, I let them, try to scare me, and I've just kept on watching them. I've let them be. I've let them be without trying to get rid of them. And I've surrounded them with space. I give them space, and I give them more space, and more and more and more self-pity came in. And I've let myself feel all that pain through self-pity, which is just nothing good for me, but I've let myself feel it. I've let myself feel it and experience it and give it a space so it can be released. What I've learned as well is that it might be helpful to many of you, that when I try to resist something, it doesn't go away. But when I give it a space and surround it with love and acceptance and tolerance, it goes away eventually. It's gonna go away in the right time and place. And that's what started happening. And then it came the moment of choice. I started speaking to my higher power. I started speaking to that higher power that did created me, that it is inspiring me on a daily basis. And I started talking to that power, and I started talking to myself and to everything that is going on to this situation. And I literally started facing the decision. Okay, is it enough? Is it enough, or do I need still more time in that self-pity, in that pain, in that darkness? And I needed more time. And I give myself another, I don't remember, 40 minutes, an hour, to cry that out, to cry all of it out, to let it be, don't try to run away, accept myself with all of that darkness. And that was absolutely the best decision I could make. And then it came the time, this is my favorite question ever, that literally changes my life on a daily basis. And it sounds like that. Okay, who am I choosing to be right now? And straight away I started connecting with those feelings and emotions of that new, empowered, amazing, kind of humble, kind of not humble Eliza. I started connecting with those feelings and emotions of I am worthy of the best life has to offer. I am worthy of my van life, dream life, where I am connected with Gaia on a daily basis. I am worthy of daily, absolutely daily, creating content for other souls on their spiritual journey. I am worthy of feeling amazing about who I am on a good day, on a bad day, with a great hair day and with a bad hair day. And I am amazing as I am, exactly the way I am. And I started connecting with those feelings, making very firm decision. I am basically choosing right now to be the best possible version I can be right now, with the energy I have at this moment, within the situation I am in the moment. And things started shifting for me. And don't get me wrong, the pain didn't went away. If you ever experience a split disc nerve pain in your back, it's hard to describe, and many people compare to the birth pain and all that stuff. And I'm not here in any competition with anyone whatsoever, because it's not about how much I was in pain, how much I was suffering. It's all about the choice that every single one of us have in any situation. There is a book, oh my goodness, I forgot the title and the author. I'm pretty sure many of you will know, so if you know it, please link in the comment section. There is a book that the guy was in Auschwitz-Birkenau, in the concentration camp on the Second World War, and he written this book, and he written in this book that even if you are stripped away from anything that you have and any choice, there is one thing that no one can ever take away from you, and it is the choice of what kind of attitude you're going to have towards that particular situation that you are in. And that's what this episode exactly is all about. It's not about being in any competition. Oh no, I've been in more pain, I've been in more suffering. And no, it's absolutely not at all. Even if you will break your fingernail and all of a sudden you're collapsing and going into pieces, that's okay, that's fine. If that's the thing that triggers you, okay, let's work it, with that. Let's let these old demons come and shine and spread their wings if they have to. Give it space, give it love, give it time, surround it with love and space. And when it is time to be released, to release that thing, let it go, let it be, let it flow, let it go away, then do exactly that. I absolutely don't believe that situation happened to me because I am a bad person. I don't believe as well that it happened to me entirely because my thinking was somewhere off. I've actually experienced a few months ago a hypnosis session, quantum healing hypnosis technique. If you ever heard of that, from Dolores Cannon. Of course, it wasn't done by Dolores. She's gone a few years already. And in that session, I've been told that the situations that happen to me, which you might call negative situation, they don't just happen just because of everything I do. There are other factors out there. And this is not to make myself empowered, is actually to make myself more aware of something else that's just me in this universe. And it's been told so many times that we are multidimensional beings, so there are other parts of me over there in the universe, and we all affect one another. So that happened in a major way because I was having these issues with my back already. It happened as well because of the fear reaction that I had towards that particular situation. But I truly believe right now that it happened to me so I can learn from it as much as it is possible. And what is it that I learn from it is again, I learn again about the expectations. One of the number one thing that I learn, and it's just so now deeply rooted in my heart and in my being, is that every single person is always going to be doing their best, no less, no more. They will always be doing their best, even if their best is not exactly what we want and expect now, and especially if their best is not our best. Again, yet every single person will always be simply doing their best, and that's enough. That's actually more than enough. And the more I learn accept people for who they are and how they are, when I just accept them in this particular moment, 99% of the issue go away. Well, I learned as well through that time, I've gained so much gratitude for those people that I have in my life, because something happened to me in that dark night, with these few hours of crying my eyes out in this pain. I've just become so grateful that I actually even have these people in my life. I'm so grateful for them for being the way they are, because thanks to that I can grow and learn. And in this situation, I'm the one who has so much to learn. I'm the one who did got a lot out of that. And I've learned as well that the more loving and patient I am towards myself and others, the more love is passed on. The more hurt I keep inside or try to run away from it, the more hurt I will be passing on to others. And I really, really hope none of these people took it in this way. But I've shared with every one of them that yes, I did got a dark night of the soul, and I shared my the inner pain that I was feeling there, that we're so all, every single one of us, including me, we're so trapped in our routines and scheduled times. This time of the day I'm doing that, this time of the week I'm doing that, and it's so inconvenient when someone all of a sudden calls us, by the way, I'm in deep shit and I need your help. It's so inconvenient, and I am so guilty of that. I don't think even that those people that I called my close ones, that my friends that I love so dearly, that they were there, but I was thinking that they are there because that's where my thinking would be, which is crazy. It just shows me how much more I still need to learn, and that's absolutely okay and fine, absolutely fine and okay. I've learned how much more love I still want to give, how much more love I want to give on a daily basis. Comparing to what I do right now, I want to do it 5 times more, and then maybe, let's say, in 6 months time, a year time, I want to do it 10 times more on a daily basis. That's the amount of love and light I want to pass it on to other beings in this planet, and that's how much more I want to be helpful and useful to this world. Help permanently raise the vibration of our planet and everyone who's in it. Help let it go of the pain and choose into love, and do all that amazing juicy stuff that I call. And the question is, what can you get out of it? I would absolutely love to hear back from you and see if this is something that you can benefit from, and if it isn't, I would definitely appreciate your constructive feedback that comes from place of love and understanding. The same as you, I am here to learn, and I am learning as best as I can right now to pass this message that has been given to me, that it is flowing through me. What can you take from that episode? What can you take from that moment? If you will ever find yourself in that situation, that's the only way you would be able to find out how you react. What are your demons? What are the things? Because those things that came out of me are those things that they are behind the curtain, quietly and silently holding me back here and there. Like just right now, before even recording that first, podcast-ish episode, the last 2 hours, all I had in my head was my ego trying to stop me from doing it. You are not good enough to do it. You have never done this before. You're gonna talk lots of bollocks. No one is gonna like it. No one is gonna benefit from it. And all that stuff kept on going. So what I've done is I just became aware of it. I've done few more yoga stretches for my back and a little bit of meditation, and I've done my smoothie, and I just sat down, and instead of procrastination, I just chose action. I pressed the record button on my phone, and I'm recording that right now. As well, what I would like to learn is that I've done my research on Google. I wasn't able to get much help from doctors, and so I have used Google. And what has been said on Google is that let's say the worst case scenario is you are not recovering from that at all. The only thing you can do is the surgery, and it has to be done as soon as possible. You are gonna to be losing the power in your arms or legs or both because of the nerves, that thing that is pressing in your back, that disc that is pressing on your nerves, and you're just becoming more and more stiff, and surgery might help you. There is actually a person that I know who is just through that situation, is just becoming someone who they don't want to be, they cannot move, they're in constant pain. Another case scenario was to spend 3 days in bed, and then through amount of 4-6 weeks slowly recovering from that incident. And in my case, it was a little bit different. I have decided that I'll be moving from day one as much as that possible. Believe it or not, more painful it was actually to be sitting or lying down than be moving, and everything was in pain. So I've decided to move anyway, consciously with the breath, consciously, all the time focused on my breath. One of the biggest benefits is the raw food. So I've ate maybe 80% raw food. Yesterday I ate cooked food most of the day, and I woke up feeling much more stiff. I woke up feeling in much more pain. I've been given diazepam, which is for releasing that nerve spasm, and I've been a little bit because it's addictive thing. I have addictive personality and I don't want to be hooked on it, so I've been getting it at the beginning a lot because of the pain, and then I've been reducing it very fast and eating just oranges, just bananas, eating just so much raw food as is possible, eating little as well, and of course doing very gentle yoga for herniated disc in low back, doing as gentle movement as it possible, but every day, once or twice a day. Meditation, no matter how painful it is to sit or lie down. And number one thing, they make the biggest improvement apart from the movement was the Wim Hof method breathing. It's absolutely unbelievable. It changes the pH in your body, the acidity. It takes the inflammation away, because sleep disc is inflammation as well. And I've been eating sugar recently, which is a body for me, has a lot to do over here as well. So that just few points in case you are looking for some clues. And I truly believe I'm recovering much faster than Google predicts. So I am extremely grateful for that. Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations and his teachings are still my core of any progress. I invite you as warmly as I can to get on that stuff, because it's absolutely amazing and life-changing. And I think we are coming up to quite amount on this first podcast ish episode, and I hope you can take out of it as much as it is possible. If you came here with any expectation and you got something out of it, that's absolutely amazing. If you're just listening to it and you weren't expecting anything and you still got something out of it, I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching that content. Thank you so much for being there for me. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for going forward. And I would absolutely love if you would let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts on the matter between spirituality and physicality, because everything is connected. And I did lost myself in spirituality bit, forgetting a little bit about my body, forgetting a little bit to tune into that inner energy a little bit more often, like Eckhart Tolle talks about in The Power of Now, about in present moment, tuning into that inner field of energy that we all have within, that being, that life force. I'm gonna wish every single one of you absolutely all the best. I'm sending you my love and light. By the way, I've done my first walk today and it was painful, and it was during the snowstorm and I got back home in pain, but it was so good. My body feels now so much better. So I think the lesson might be that no matter how painful it is, just take that step forward, take that another step forward. out of your comfort zone, who knows, you might feel so much better just because you took action instead of backing off. Guys, all the best to you. Keep on exploring, stay awesome, and I will see you soon, or I will hear you soon in my next episode. Bye bye.